massive piece of news for Arsenal fans, which I think will have them over the moon in relation to their midfield next year. Yes, the strengthening must happen, but the renewal of a contract of a standout player in the 24-25 season is now on the cards. We're taking a look at that. Plus, Manchester United updates on Victor Osimhent, updates on the Cunha deal, which does feel like it is very close to a full agreement as of right now. What will Man United be doing on a striker front as well? Make sure you've hit the like buttons. Make sure you are subscribing. And Liverpool fans, could your dreams be about to come true as well? Manchester United remain optimistic for Matheus Cunha deal as the clubs feel he really wants the moves. Champions League football not expected to be a factor, with Cunha keen on the move, as United would be ready to pay the £62 million clause in installments if Wolves approve. And this story has been circulating for a while now. Ben Jacobs was actually the first journalist to break this a couple of weeks ago, talking about the agent flying to the UK to sit down with potential suitors. Fabrizio has updated this morning as well. And it does appear, when you go through the stories, when you break this down, that Manchester United are leading the race for Cunha. A number of reports this morning that the deal is very close to completion and that Man United could have everything wrapped up, ready to go to complete before the season ends, let alone the transfer window opens. And for me, as a United fan, I'm over the moon. The reason being is very, very simple. Very, very easy for me. One, he's a top player. Two, he raises the technical and physical floor of this team. Three, and maybe really importantly, and this will only really be appreciated by Man United fans, there has long since been a thought, a theory, a concern for many that United will only target 18, 19, 20-year-olds. This would put that notion to bed instantly if the first signing is 26 years of age when he arrives, Premier League proven, experienced, in the peak of his career. Man United need that mixture of youth and experience, and Cunha gives that to United in absolute bucket loads. He really does. David Ornstein also updated on this as well when he says the suggestion is that Man United want to complete the deals for Cunha and Liam Delap early in the window, even before any sales have been made. And Ornstein doubled down on that last night, giving a video update whilst covering the game at Arsenal. And for me, again, the number four reasons, the fourth reason why it's really good is this idea United were going to have no money. We were going to have to sell before we bought. That would make potential buyers of our players drag things out to get better prices. We'd get the players in late. Maybe they'd miss pre-season. If, and there is an if here, we've got to deliver it. We've got to get it over the line. If these deals take until August, until the season kicks off to get done, I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna condemn it. But if these stories from Ornstein, from Fabrizio and others are true, and we're getting this done early, getting these imperative players, these important players in before pre-season, I think it sends a message to Man United fans that there is a plan, that we are serious, that we know we messed up year one. This is Ineos talking here. We know we messed up year one with keeping Ten Hag. We know it was an awful season, and we contributed towards that, but we want to rectify things. We want to improve things. And listen, when it comes to Delap, we've all seen the story that the Victor Osimhent deal, according to David Ornstein, is not on Man United's radar. He isn't on the agenda for us this summer. And I will admit, I'm very gutted by this. It's a very different story to the likes of what Chris Wheeler and other outlets were saying yesterday morning. David Ornstein is saying it's not on the agenda. The thing I find most hilarious is when Ornstein speaks about Zubimendi, no chance, it's bullshit, it's nonsense. We're going to get onto that later. When he says United aren't getting Osimhent, everybody talks like Jesus himself has just descended from the clouds of heaven and said, Osimhent will not become a Man United player. I do find it interesting when people pick and choose when to listen to Ornstein. I treat all of his stories with the same with the same level. Highly credible. I just don't write off the other journalists because the transfer window moves in mysterious ways. Another God quote there. And we've seen before, every journalist not get things wrong. It's the wrong way to look at it. But the landscape in the world could change. Maybe Delap picks Chelsea. Maybe another player goes to Liverpool that we're looking at. And then suddenly the club goes, actually, maybe there's a chance here for Osimhent. We know that we like him. We know we've scouted him. But as of right now, 2 or 3 of the biggest reporters in the world yesterday afternoon, after we did Straight Facts, actually stated that the Osimhent deal won't happen. But if United can get Delap and if United can get Cunha dusted early in this window, I will be a very, very happy man indeed. Before we go any further, thank you for everyone who's tuning in and hit the like button. Please go and check out my podcast with Mark Goldbridge on Spotify right now. You can scan that QR code on the screen, or you can click the link in our description. Go and follow, go and give a nice 5-star rating if you would be so kind. And I know a lot of you like to listen to podcasts on Spotify. I know you're all big YouTube followers as well, but go and subscribe to us over there on Spotify. Lots happening in that space in the coming weeks and months as well. So get yourselves across. Up next, let's take a little look at Arsenal.
Developing story that is breaking regarding the future of Thomas Partey. What can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Cara. I've just broken the news that Arsenal want Thomas Partey to stay at the club beyond the end of his existing contract. It was due to expire in the summer of 2025. They are in talks with him over a new deal. It was assumed that he would be leaving when that existing contract came to an end. He's at the age of 31, and it wouldn't be a great surprise given all of his injuries. But I think his return to prominence for Mikel Arteta's team has made Arteta and the club be very keen on him remaining here at the Emirates Stadium. It's something that Thomas Partey is very keen on himself. He's happy at Arsenal. His family are enjoying living in London, and as I understand it, he would be open to a new 2-year contract or a 1-year contract with an option to extend by 12 months, and he would like to have improved terms as well. If an agreement is not struck, then Thomas Partey does have alternative options and he'll look to pursue them. So that's a really interesting situation. His fellow midfielder Jorginho is going to be leaving, we believe, when his own terms expire at the end of this campaign. They'll be adding to the midfield with the arrival of Martín Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Arsenal are acting internally as if that is a done deal. They'll also look to strengthen in attack. Players such as Victor Gyökeres of Sporting Lisbon, Benjamin Sesko on the radar. I don't think Alexander Isak is going to be realistic, nor the likes of Victor Osimhent and any other names you hear swirling around. They may look for a winger, but I think one would need to depart if that was going to happen.
Big update there from David Ornstein. First and foremost, there's a few bits to unpack. The Thomas Partey may be staying. He also tweeted about this, saying Arsenal want Partey to stay in talks over a new contract. The 31-year-old midfielder is happy at Arsenal, and his family are enjoying London life. The Ghana international open to improved 2-year deal with a 1+ with a year extension option will be considered alternative options if agreement cannot be struck. I'm not going to lie. We spoke about this a few weeks ago on the terrace, and a few of the Arsenal fans were like, I don't know why we're letting him go. I think we should keep him. And I made the argument, and it holds water still, that, look, he's had this season's been amazing. He's been immense. You cannot deny that. The previous couple of seasons, maybe not been at his highest level. He's had a number of injury problems. And I just suggested maybe Arsenal feel they've been a bit lucky with him this year, and they're concerned that if they give him a new deal, he could spend a third of it, 2/3 of it out injured, as an example, could age out, etc. But Arsenal are looking to offer him a new deal, which tells you they think that he's over those injury concerns. And we don't know what he's done to fix it. I always think back to the famous stories of Ryan Giggs. He gave up the sports cars, started yoga. His hamstrings looked finished in his early 30s, went on to play till he was 40 because he changed his lifestyle. So we know this is doable. And that, by the way, was 15 plus years ago. Sports science and the medical world is much more advanced now. I think this is a good move for Arsenal if they can get it done and agreed. He's been so influential. We know they're looking at Zubimendi, and we'll move on to him in a moment. But him and Declan Rice have been powerhouses this season. And as long as Arsenal believe and Partey believe that he's got a couple of seasons left in the tank, it makes complete and utter sense to keep him. Now, moving on to the Zubimendi news. Again, if you're sure that Ornstein is speaking the truth about Osimhent and Man United, then you have to equally give him credibility when it comes to Zubimendi. Big news in Spain that Real Madrid are going to push and get him. And I wouldn't write 100% Real Madrid off. Can't do it, won't do it, will never do it when it comes to transfers. Can't. Similarly with Chelsea, I never write Chelsea off of any deal they're involved in because they have this habit of getting it done. But Sammy McBell, David Ornstein, Ben Jacobs, the list goes on and on and on of journalists that just keep stating the same thing. And the words from Ornstein were very clear. Arsenal are treating this as though the deal is done. There's no more work to do. The player is agreed. We're paying the release clause. As soon as the window opens for us to execute, we will get it done. So for me, that is a very powerful message to come out. One that Arsenal have to deliver on, because you can't brief the media this. And even if it isn't them sending that message, say it's an agent, say it's an intermediary, Arsenal have got the opportunity to rebrief Arsenal could contact David Ornstein today and say, listen, I know you're being told that by whoever, but it's not done yet. We're not that confident, or we're confident, but we don't think it's a done deal. Arsenal could brief that to temper the expectations of their fans. They're not doing it. They're leaving that news out there. And right now, I don't think there's much need for PR. They're in a Champions League semi-final. Just had two of the greatest results in the history of their football club against Real Madrid. The emotions and feelings are high right now. They don't need to push out this story to keep people happy. So I think there's a lot of credibility to it. Doesn't mean you write off Real Madrid. Always be sensible in that regard. But Zubimendi coming in, Thomas Partey potentially staying, Rice absolutely killing it right now. Another season of development for Waneri. That midfield is going to be dangerous and potent for Arsenal. There's no doubt. And then on the striker front, as mentioned, Šeško's very good, very talented, getting better and better. Victor Gyökeres, one of the best strikers in Europe. I would go for Gyökeres if I was in their position. I do think he's the better of the two players. Plus, there isn't any real need for development. He is already at that point where he can come in and execute. I think he's a 20 to 25 goal a season Premier League goal scorer. You add those midfielders, you add in that Gyökeres, and listen, Arsenal were already, in my opinion, going to be in the title race next year anyway. This season, a lot of draws from winning positions. The addition of these players, more control in the midfield, more goals up front, pushes them to another level, in my personal opinion. But I want to get your take on this in the comment section below, people. Give us your thoughts and your feelings. Now, an interesting story I also read today is that Trent Alexander-Arnold could reject a move to Real Madrid due to the ongoing uncertainty over the manager at the club. First thing I thought is there really uncertainty? I think we all know it's going to be Alonso. It feels a dot on the cards for it to be Alonso. But is this a way of Trent's team briefing the media and doing a U-turn? We all saw that celebration when he scored that all-important goal against Leicester City. We saw it. That didn't look like a man saying au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Didn't have that feel to it. Could Trent be open to performing a U-turn, staying at Liverpool, and then giving the second half of his career to the city of his birth, the team that he supported as a boy? Van Dijk stayed. Salah has stayed. There are huge rumors the club is really going to pursue the likes of Alexander Isak. There could be an addition of a player like a Cherki coming in. Kirkes on the left-hand side. Listen, Real Madrid around Madrid. And I know people don't like that analysis in 2025. They want more detail. But Real Madrid always have great players. They've invariably, in my whole lifetime, they've had very good to world-class teams every single season. They may have the odd year where they're off the boil, but they're off the boil. We're still normally better than 95% of other European teams. But there are some stories that they're not going to spend big this summer, Real Madrid. And I think even with the addition of Alonso, who I think will coach a more regimented system, who will have them far more organized, I still think that Trent would be a great addition. But who's the central midfielder they're going to bring in that's going to be the controller? Now, it could be Zubimendi that we mentioned earlier, who's available at a relatively low price. But if he genuinely is committed to Arsenal, who are the alternative options? Who are they going to be able to bring in? Have they got the money for it? That's a report that's coming out. Maybe Trent has to think long and hard about this. Maybe he's looking at Liverpool and thinking, do you know, it's not even about Real Madrid and what they may or may not do, before some of you go mental in the comment section. I'm just spitballing here. Maybe he looks at it and thinks, well, those boys are staying for 2 more years. The club have told me we're going to get someone like Isak. We've got Kirkes coming in. We could have Cherki coming in. We could actually do back-to-back league title wins. No Liverpool team's done that for 40 plus years. We could win a couple of more Champions Leagues, get ourselves onto 7 or 8. Maybe I could be part of a Liverpool dynasty that doesn't just catch Manchester United's league trophy haul. We can surpass it by 2 or 3. Maybe we can leave every other English club behind further by getting 7 or 8 Champions Leagues, but also be part of a Liverpool team that closes that gap on Real Madrid, that becomes the second most successful team, period, in Europe. These are things. If I'm Liverpool, this is what I'm selling to Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is how I'm sitting down and I'm trying to show him this is the place for him. Now, as a Man United fan, I don't want it to happen, but I'm intrigued. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. Until next time, people, look after yourselves. Go check out Hot Take right now. Scan the QR code or click on the link below. We'd love to get your feedback over there on Spotify. So go and give us a follow. If you haven't got a Spotify account, get yourself signed up. Some great podcasts over there. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Peace.